Since the Second World War, the largest naval and land conflict fought by modern armies has been the Falklands War. During the conflict, the French-built Super Etendard attack aircraft and Exocet missiles proved to be a dangerous combination, sinking several ships from the Royal Navy fleet. In this video, I build the Super Étendard of the Argentine Navy in 1/72 scale. For the model, I used the Academy kit, Eduard PE for more detail, and the high-quality Armycast decals. You will find links to all products in the description. With the brass parts, the cockpit and landing gear can be upgraded, and the air brake can be made in the open position. Some of the photo-etched parts could only be glued in place if I removed the ejector pins from the fuselage first. I then painted the cockpit a very dark gray, almost black. I dry brushed the edges. As you can see, I had to use putty in some parts because of the poor fit. Before priming, I cut the flaps out of the wing and glued them back in the parking position. After priming, it became apparent that some of the panel lines had disappeared due to sanding. I scratched them back with a small saw. I attached Tamiya masking tape and Dymo tape to the fuselage to make the lines straight. This Academy kit was molded with a tool that was made in 1983, so the fit's not very good, and it needs a lot of filling and sanding. After another layer of primer, I sprayed the first color on the bottom of the aircraft. This was AK Real Color Insignia White. It's not a really bright white color, but more of an off-white. After I masked the white, the Super Étendard top was painted a bluish, dark gray. The Academy instructions only say that it is blue-gray, but doesn't give an exact definition. The decal manufacturer Armycast recommends mixing Gunzi Zofive blue and C72 intermediate blue in a 20+80% ratio. I achieved the French era naval dark blue, gray with some blue, mixed with AK Real Color RC246 paint. Argentina's national colors were painted on the tail using a mixture of Mr. Hobby H45 light blue and bright white, then masked. I wanted to see some texture on the surface, so I applied white paint spots with a sponge and an airbrush. This was softly sanded with wet sandpaper, followed by another coat of bluish-gray top coat. The result was the bluish-gray color I wanted to paint the Argentine Etendard. As the paint is quite glossy, no varnish was needed. The high-quality Armycast decals were applied to the model without any problems. The set also includes French markings, which I will probably use for another Etendard model. After the decals had been dry, I washed the panel lines with brownish-black oil paint and then wiped them back with AK White Spirit. As you can see, the red FOD covers have been put in place in the intake in the meantime. These and the aircraft ladder were scratch-built from photos. For Super Etendard, I made a creative base using worn blue and white painted planks to evoke the atmosphere of the Argentinian coast. I applied the lettering to the painted boards using a transfer process. The Falklands War sounds like Guerra de las Malvinas in Spanish. The other slogan is an untranslatable expletive, letting the British know that they are not welcome. I saw this inscription in a contemporary photograph, spray-painted by Argentine vandals on the wall of a British apartment. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like me to build for you a model like this, or similar, you can use the modelbuilder.art link in the description.